Find it kind of mind blowing how adults do not have the natural curiosity to look something up. Let me give you an example. When I was reading through the complaints and the section where they talked about the plan of action, I came across a word called a nudity writer. And I was like, what's a nudity writer? And one of the things that I like to do is when I come across a word or a term that I've never heard of, I like to read at least a sentence or a paragraph to understand what the word is in the context in which it's being used. And if I still do not understand, then I will go look it up on Google, ChatGPT, or Webster. So originally I thought a nudity writer was a person. No, it's not. It is a memorandum or a document that is submitted to the production by the actor that says, these are the left and right parameters in which I will participate in a nude scene or an intimacy scene. So I was like, okay, cool. Not a problem, right? In my comments, I am kind of taken aback at the number of adults that don't know what a union is, don't know how a union operates. There are adults in my comments that don't know that SAG-AFTRA is a union. It's a union for entertainment personnel in movies and television. Writers, actors, crew, and other personnel that work in the entertainment industry, they don't know that SAG-AFTRA is an acronym. And that's the name of the union. And so they're sitting there going back and forth with each other, talking about they can't legally enforce anything. They don't have the authority to shut down a production. Yes, the fuck they do. Because if y'all read the complaints, and folks be claiming that they did, but it's always the details that be punching them in the face. Because under the guidelines and the plan of action that Blake Lively outlined herself, it said that these are the parameters that will be outlined per SAG-AFTRA guidelines. It's right there in the fucking complaint. And they want to sit there and be loud and wrong, arguing with each other. And it's just like, SAG does have the authority to shut down production. They can shut down production. Even had a conversation with a friend of mine who's in the entertainment industry, and she was talking about how a certain producer likes to push the envelope to where like he pushes it. Not enough to get shut down, but enough to be like skirting the line. And that's how I knew about that. SAG very much has the legal authority to shut down any production. And this is why I said, how come Blake Lively never made that phone call? Because had she made the phone call, it would have created a paper trail. They would have went down there and saw the conditions in which she was complaining about. That entire production would have got shut down real fast. And then creators like myself wouldn't even have a leg to stand on in regards to, is this a character assassination attempt or what? As a matter of fact, had she contacted her union rep, they would have came in, did their investigation, and she probably wouldn't even need to file a lawsuit because they would have done their own internal shit. Unions are there to protect their people. And the only reason why I'm so well versed in union because DOD civilians and contractors that work for the military, a lot of them are members of a union. And a friend of mine who was a division chief, he was like, dude, as much as I want, my civilian employees to do this, that, and the third, if it is not prescribed in their union, I can't touch them. I was like, but you're their raider. Nope. He was like, you don't fuck with union folks. And this is why a lot of corporations don't like unions. And it's just mind-boggling how people would just go back and forth. I'm like, they can't do this. And honey, a simple Google search. And I'm going to keep reiterating this. This is so much deeper than a bunch of rich celebrities arguing back and forth on an ego power trip. This shit is actually applicable. So if you work in a profession that has a union, you need to be paying attention to this shit. It is extremely important because this is very much applicable. And that's why I wasn't surprised when SAG made that official statement and says, hey, we support Blake Lively. They have to do it. It is required. It's so much deeper than the politics. If you go on their website, you can file a sexual harassment complaint on their website. So even though they are an independent agent, they are a formal, legally recognized union.